I don't know if anyone's told you this, but you have a very villainous look.
Dude, I want to apologize for that too. Dude, are you just saying I'm ugly? I've lost the flow of... You've got enough roast in, bro. I'm going to start shooting them back at you.
You actually are Pakistani Christian. How does that feel?
When I lived in California, everyone told me I sound country. Those are the people that I met on January 6th.
Nice. Was that fun, January 6th?
What year?
Like,
What year?
You think you need therapy?
Dude, you look like a fucking anti-guy. You look like yo, we about to start. Shall I start roasting you now? You're starting to become jaded.
Yeah.
To the dark side.
Bro.
Whoa, dude. I'm never done. Wow, I'm learning something right now. Where did you get these questions?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Keep Shining podcast. Today we have an amazing guest, a wonderful, talented, very beautiful guest. Today we have here...
Oh, that's where I come in.
Yeah.
Just a brown guy living day by day, man. Oh, is that where I say my name?
Yeah.
My government name? Should I just like my whole government name? I
and
just put out
social
to the
security
world?
number and blood type, all that.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
My name's Arun, man.
Arun. Thank you for coming. I was about to say thank you for having me, but because you did have me at one point.
Yeah, I want to apologize for that too.
For what? Why?
I felt like, you know, I made fun of your vest. I told you you couldn't act. Like there were a lot of moments that I was just afterwards. I felt bad about.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, for you guys that don't know, he actually invited me onto his podcast, which I had a wonderful time. So I don't know why he's apologizing, but I guess he did make fun of my vest, and he did say I can't act. And no, but I had a great time.
Oh, I mean that's good. It was something that was, you know, like a weight on my shoulders.
You're like overthinking?
Yeah, and I wanted to come here just to extend that apology. You know what I mean?
Bro, were those your intentions?
Yeah.
Damn, bro. I think we just end this podcast. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that's what I came here for. No, man, it was fun. You were my first guest actually ever.
Yeah.
On Grind Talks, and I have not been potting per se as of lately, and I seen you have a couple of people on lately. Yeah, and I was like, hey man,
he shot me
apologize to you.
He shot me a message, and I was like, dude, of course, because our conversation was like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
But
I apologize for keeping you that long.
No, I loved it.
Okay.
I was like, yo, however long I can talk and make content, I love it.
Nice.
For those that don't know, what do you do?
What do I do? My day-to-day is I'm a graphic designer.
Hell yeah.
And that's just my 9-to-5 coat I wear.
Yeah.
And I love it. I get to do art for a living, and it's something I've always aspired for.
Yeah.
And now I do it. And other than that, I just try to live life, man.
That's
day
awesome.
by day. I'm a simple guy. I don't need a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the first time I met you was actually at a movie premiere that you were a part of.
Yes.
That you helped create.
That was legendary. Me and Bilal Khan, Brandon Pennant.
Bilal Khan, who is now the producer of this podcast.
Is there a camera on him?
There's no camera, but
you got to get
not
that.
yet. Not yet.
Okay.
But that's why there's multiple angles and stuff like that.
And
but
he executive produced it. I produced it. Brandon directed it. It's called Thump Yard, Champions of Circumstance.
Yeah.
And
what's the movie about?
It's a documentary about a local group of guys that started a boxing club in literally a trucking yard. And I mean, now it's probably a year and a half ago, I would say, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
About a year and a half.
Late 2021, right?
Yeah, late 2021. And they started in a truck yard where they were essentially having the community come out and putting on boxing matches just to unite the community against gun violence.
Yeah.
And that was their flag that they wore going in, and it was amazing, just the story of the growth of not only the fighters but the founders, and we thought it was just amazing, so we came together, and that was the first documentary we ever did of that nature.
Yeah.
And it was humongous. We premiered it a few blocks from the White House. We had all the guys come out. You were there?
Yeah, so
legendary.
That was my introduction to meeting you. And Bilal just hit me up, and he was like, I see you doing this like interview thing at different conventions, so come out, do your interview thing at the premiere. And I was like, that's such a great idea, because one, people love being interviewed. Two, it gives a more professional, like red carpet feeling for your guys' event. And so I was like, okay, I'd be happy to do it. And I get to make content as well. So I love doing that. And then I got there and I don't know if anyone's told you this, but you have a very villainous look.
Dude. Yes. I've heard that multiple times.
So
are you already roasting me? We just fucking started, bro. God damn.
You said
I thought you were going to
apologizing for roasting my vest and my acting. So
yeah, I guess you owe me. Go ahead. Come on, give it to me.
So
Villainous
I saw
look,
you and
yes.
I was like, dude, this guy's like about to murder me, or like he's part of the mafia or some shit.
The nicest guy.
And he comes to me, he's like, dude, like thank you so much for coming. And I'm like, what the heck? Like he's gonna kill me after this. Like there's gotta be.
There was no one better that we could have had that night. Like, you know how just the universe aligns?
Yeah.
There was no one else I think that we could have had that night that did it the way you did it.
Appreciate it. And so this is where I give you your flowers. You were one of the nicest people, like out of the gate, to just come up to me and really, I didn't even do anything yet. You were just like, yo, thank you so much for coming. And you were really like, you know, nice to me. So I appreciate that.
That's awesome, man.
And so then
that makes me feel good. Because I'm just, you know, I come with the villain look, and then right behind it is love. You know what I mean? Dude, are you just saying I'm ugly?
No.
Yeah, okay. I thought you were just saying I'm ugly.
I think villains are beautiful, right?
You did tell me that last podcast. You said if you were to act, you would play a villain.
I would play a villain.
And just as I say that, I see the Joker on the wall over there.
And I did reference that I like Joker.
You were the Joker.
I was the Joker
for Halloween.
And then, what's it called? So I do you think you overcompensate the niceness because you have the villainous look?
Yo, he said, "Am I nice because I'm so ugly?" Like,
I'm literally telling you, bro. I'm literally telling you.
That is crazy. Nah, man, I'm a nice guy because I think that life is short and we all been through a lot of shit. So why not be nice? You never know what someone's going through.
Hell yeah.
The minute you're mean to me, though,
yeah,
I'm fucking.
That's when the villain comes out,
dude. fucking slap you with a breadstick or some shit. You know what I mean?
Slap you with a breadstick.
Yeah, dog. Like, but other than that, I'm good. Like, I love everybody.
That's awesome. Do you? He's thinking about it.
I mean, I love most people.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. I'm living my truth now. I got to say things how they are.
Yeah. No, but that was my introduction to Arun, and we've done many collaborative, creative projects together. And honestly, like, I love the way you collaborate. I think you get out the best in people. And I think I had you also on our music video shoot, the Allergic music video shoot. You were just there to like vibe, but then I think you were actually wanted to like put in your creative aspects, and I think that came out really well in the final product. But I think sometimes for me it's hard when I'm doing a project. Sometimes when people don't know what they're doing, it's hard to do everything, like put on multiple hats. So then when I have you guys like Bilal, you and even Brandon, it's nice that people just have multiple hats already, and then I can just kind of have one hat and focus on that. So I think when I had you on set, it was really nice. You're like, I think you should have this feeling or this mood when you're acting like this. I think the camera should still be still like
I
this.
apologize for taking over your video shooting.
No. I appreciate it. What the heck?
I'm fucking with you, man. Oh, am I allowed? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cuss.
Dude, there's no cuss.
Have I already cussed like 5 times? And now I'm just saying.
No, we don't care.
All right.
But yeah, I appreciate it.
No, I mean, it's hard for me not to be around creatives and not be creatives. And working with Bilal and Brandon, they said they were coming out to do this project with you. I was like, yeah, I definitely want to come. And literally, we went to a cornfield and started shooting ideas out.
Yep.
And just giving it back to you, man. Like, I enjoy working with you. I think you're super talented. I just seen guitars on the wall. I didn't even know you play guitar. Like, it's crazy. And I think I'm just lucky to be around you type of guys that are just trying to make stuff and be free and be creative in your all the different places you can.
Yeah.
You do a lot of different stuff, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We're talking about comedy lately.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You've been getting into comedy?
What do you mean getting into comedy?
I think a lot of comics just described as like, just going into the stand-up scene.
I don't think I can call myself a comic because I've never done stand-up yet.
Yeah.
When we were talking about it, we were like, dipping our feet in it. You know, there was a local club that opened up here in Gaithersburg, Give a Hoot Comedy Club.
Yeah.
And they've been doing open mics, and we were like, hey, why not go try it?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I think my humor's a bit dark, hence the villainous look, right?
Yeah.
But you know, I think it'd be fun to try. One of my favorite or it's not a TV show, but my favorite thing to watch, period, on anything, anywhere, is Kill Tony.
Okay.
You heard of Kill Tony?
I think you told me once about it, but
Okay, so
remind me.
Tony
again.
Hinchcliffe is a comedian who's been doing this live comedy show for, honestly, they're definitely in like the 500s of episodes, like somewhere almost at 600, maybe. I could have had the numbers completely off, but they've done it for years. And essentially what they do is it's a live comedy show where they have comics put their names in a bucket, right? And he picks a name out the bucket, and if your name gets picked, you go on stage and do a 1-minute set. Mm-hmm. And after that 1-minute set, him and his guests or special guests that he has for that night interview you to see, just to learn more about you, to critique your set and to talk shit and make fun of you and just find out more about the person. And it's so organic and real, and sometimes it's a fucking batshit crazy person, and then sometimes it's just a killer comic that nobody knows yet and is just, you know, coming out of nowhere. And it's just this explosiveness of you never know what's going to happen. And it's live every Monday free on YouTube at 9 p.m.
That's awesome.
And so like watching that show over time, just seeing so many people try, some people that have never done it, I thought it'd be interesting to give it a shot one time, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, I think my humor is more dark. I think that comes from being a 90s kid. I was born in the 80s, but growing up in the 90s, you know, you have a different sense of humor, I think. Yeah. And I think the comics that I liked and like are, you know, a bit on that side, like Tony Hinchcliffe, Dave Attell, like those type of comics that some people might consider like dirty comics.
Interesting.
Dirty, but they're the best.
Have you done any art forms where you get immediate feedback? Because as a graphic designer, you probably get feedback like after you're finished the product or like in the process of making the product or draft.
Yeah. I mean, it's never immediate.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, so that's an interesting question. No, I had to think about that. I don't think I've ever been in a case, unless like I used to make music. So if I'm in the room with an artist or something, I might play a record, play a beat,
and they'll be like, "Ooh, that's fire."
So those are kind of maybe that's maybe the closest thing for me.
Because I feel like for me at least, I think comedy or presentations, and I started streaming on Twitch and stuff like that. I see immediate feedback to whatever I'm doing, and I think that makes me better, faster at whatever.
The reps, I mean, that's what everyone talks about, even in the comedy world. Like if you like stand up, they say like 10 years is like a good benchmark, right? Yeah. Like you kind of get to somewhere around that time.
Yeah. That's why I think, you know, comedy is a great place to have that immediate feedback.
Yeah. And I mean, just the idea of an open mic, I mean, we'll probably eat dog shit the first few times we do it, but that's what you're talking about, right? Is like finding out what works and trying different things. I think it all comes from a place, like, I think my family is funny. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? My little brother is definitely funnier than me. I've been trying to get him to do something. Yeah. But like I feel like our family makes jokes in bad times. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's probably where the darkness came from. Like you're in the hospital, someone's fucked up, and then someone cracks a joke, and
yeah,
it's interesting. Sorry, it's interesting. English is my second language.
Is it actually?
Yeah, I was in ESL when I was a kid.
Wow. What's your first language?
Urdu.
No way.
But I've lost the flow of Urdu.
Oh, okay.
Like I can understand everything, but it's harder for me to speak.
Yeah.
Because when I came here at 3 years old, Urdu was my first language.
Wow.
But coming to America, my parents were more concerned at that point of now me learning English. So they were pressing the English and not using the Urdu as much or forcing us to speak it as much because they were more concerned about us learning English. That's why I was in ESL.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's why I fucked up on interesting. I just said it now.
That's a hard word for for you?
I don't know. I had some spit in my mouth or something. I was fucking drooling.
What's
I'm half. No, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Say that for the Patreon.
What's interesting about you? You see what I did there? Interesting.
Yeah.
What's interesting?
Dude,
what?
You've got enough roast in, bro. I'm gonna start shooting them back at you soon.
Please.
That's
please
your
do.
last one. All right.
All right. What's interesting about you is, or that I thought about you was that you actually are Pakistani Christian.
Yeah.
How does that feel as a Pakistani Christian, being, Christian around a country that's majority Muslim?
Growing up in the East Coast, like Virginia, Maryland, and going up to Philly, New York, and all that area, I didn't even know necessarily that Pakistani Christians were the minority.
Wow. So you guys thought you guys were the majority, or like that's how it felt?
I ain't gonna speak for everybody now,
Yeah.
but me, like, learning at a later age, that we were the minority. But when you're young, and if you're just around Pakistani Christians, you just think, oh, Pakistanis are Christian.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Then you find out we're less than 1%.
Wow. And like, so you never.
Is it? It's sorry. Someone fact check me too.
No, I think you're right.
I just be saying shit sometimes.
It's less than 5%. I know.
Okay.
So, but less than 1%. I mean, that's.
Dude, I'm just saying.
So
it's fake news.
There's enough Pakistani Christians around you where you felt like you guys weren't a minority.
Everybody around me.
Everybody.
Majority.
Wow.
Because it was all family.
Interesting.
There wasn't that many Pakistani kids in my school. There weren't that many Pakistani kids around. So my experience of Pakistani people was through family and those extended family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wasn't necessarily in the communities like a Edison or like a Jackson Heights where there was like a big population.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how do you feel now that like you've met more Pakistani Muslims? And
I don't feel any type of way about it, honestly.
Yeah.
I've never really, it's never been something I've like stopped and think about. Like my sister's Christian. She's married to Bilal's brother, who's Muslim. I'm sure there's people that hold it to whatever weight or whatever discriminations they do, but that's just like being discriminatory. See, I'm saying, dude. Discriminatory. See what I did there?
Discriminatory, yeah.
Okay. Discriminatory against a Buddhist or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I respect all religions. So for me, it's easy to, you know what I mean? Like, I'll fucking chill with a Rastafarian, dude. Like, right now.
Yeah. Did you go to church a lot growing up?
Yeah. My mom, I used to hate it when we used to go because just getting up on Sunday, going to church. But my mom was like, you're going to go. When I'm going, you're going to go. And then when you're 18, you can decide if you want to go or not. Or like when I'm out the house, I can decide when I want to go or not.
Yeah.
And now that I'm older, I don't necessarily go to church. I mean, I've gone to church here and there, but it's, even you calling me a Pakistani Christian, it's like that's the label that my family is and my people and extended family are. But I don't know if that's necessarily what I like. It gets tricky when you start putting labels on things. You know what I mean? Like you put subscribing to entire doctrines. I can't even say the word. Say it for me.
What I don't know what you're trying to say.
Doctrines. Is that a word?
Doctrines. Oh, okay.
Doctrines. I got to stop using big words. I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart.
Let your Maryland accent ride. Just roll through the word.
When I lived in California, everyone told me I sound country.
I see it. I was about to bring it up in the beginning, but you were like, "Don't roast me, bro," and I was like, "All right."
My girl always makes fun of me for the way I say fire.
Fire. Wait, where did that come from?
Dude, I grew up in Virginia and Maryland,
Like-
around like
I
crazy
dig it,
country
though.
kids. I grew up around all different types of people, and I guess just being from around
Yeah.
the region, you get a little twang.
But how'd you get the twang, bro? I don't understand. It's dope though.
Where are you from?
I'm from around here, bro.
You ain't from around these parts, boy.
Why? I should have a twang.
No, I'm just joking.
Should I have a
I
twang?
mean, I don't know. Maybe not from around here, Gaithersburg area, but I've lived up in Frederick, and when I was in Virginia, different areas. I probably
Hell yeah,
picked up
Virginia.
you know what I mean? That's where I picked up my conservative values. And,
Yeah.
you know, those are the people that I met on January 6th.
Nice. Nice. Was that fun, January 6th?
What year?
What year? You know the year.
Dude, it was fucking Rager, bro.
It's a
Fucking
Rager.
Rager, bro.
It's like Coachella, bro.
Dude, fucking Woodstock, man.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I can just imagine like your room just has the giant Confederate flag. You have like shotguns and you're just like,
That'd be badass, minus the flag. I mean, I'm all about a rustic look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I like the whole cabin, like simple life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm all about that.
as a,
Like, my dream house is in the country somewhere,
okay, that's dope.
around a fire.
As a graphic designer, what's your favorite like flag?
Oh, like what a client would say that kind of makes me roll my eyes or something.
No. What's your like? what's your favorite flag that like you know you think is a great flag that represents a state or a country or?
I mean, probably the Wu-Tang flag first.
Okay, that's a
you know
good
what I
one.
mean? And then,
But do you think it's the logo itself, or do you think the music just gives that
dude, the logo is like if you were growing up in the 90s, you was like fogging up windows and drawing up the logo. Like you was drawing the logo everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The logo was everything.
But
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Flag. That's maybe I'm cheating. So I'll
no,
give
no,
you
no,
a
no.
country.
I think that's fine. I just think.
Oh, you were trying to see if I would say Confederate flag?
No.
Okay.
I was saying that. Do you think the music influenced the logo, or was it the logo just itself that good? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that's one of the cases where it was a pretty decent balance of each breathing life into one another.
Okay.
The Wu-Tang show is on right now. Have you watched it?
I haven't watched it. I've been interested in it.
I've
though.
watched it. I've been watching it. I'm cool with it.
That's
yeah.
cool. You watch a lot of TV?
Really just at night when I get in bed. Like if I'm not watching Kill Tony on Mondays at 9 p.m., then I'm probably just watching what my girl's watching, or I'm doing something in the background while she's watching TV. But she's watching like all the popular shows that all you people watch. I don't really. Yeah, I haven't really. It's hard for me to get into a show because you see a show and you're like, oh, the show looks interesting. That says 7 seasons, bro. I don't have 7 seasons of my life. Oh, I started watching Ghost.
Ghost. I haven't heard of that. What's up?
It's a brown dude. That's partly why I started watching it. It was this brown dude, and come to find out, he's from Baltimore, and I can't remember his name right now. But it's a brown dude and a white chick. I'm sorry for all the racial things I'm going right now because I don't know any of their names. And they live in a house, and the girl bumps her head, and now she can see ghosts.
Oh,
But she's the only one, and there's like 8-9 ghosts that live in the house or something like that.
Dang.
So it's a comedy. It's a sitcom.
Oh, it's a comedy. Okay, that's dope.
It's a comedy, and that's just one she's got me into watching. So.
Nice. Where do you gather your inspiration from for your art, or just in life in general?
What type of question is that? Like in life in general?
Yeah, like where do you gather
What does
inspiration?
that mean? Like, what do I wake up and inspire like for my breakfast? Like,
Yeah, like what inspires? See, like when I go outside, right? I'm like always. I want inspiration always from what I create.
oh, I got you. Nature probably for me.
Nature.
Yeah, like straight hippie answer right there, bro. Nature does
Why
it. I'm one of
nature?
those old school hippies, man. Like just something about the veins of a tree, man. Just like how they it's everything unites as one in nature. Like you could just be out there and be quiet and be away from all the hustle and bustle and just breathe.
Yeah.
Take a hike.
Like the hiking, the smell, like all that?
Everything. I think the biggest part is just like the feeling of detachment. I think that's like what I seek in life more than anything.
And does it reflect in your art?
Probably not. Because, I mean, now that I'm doing my 9 to 5 is really what I'm just working on design. I mean, I feel like I'm pulling inspiration there for the industry that I'm in. But as far as personal art, I haven't done as much personal art lately. Yeah. But when I have in the past, it's literally just, I like to think of it as like a blank slate. Kind of like the same way I did music, which I'm kind of realizing now they're similar. The way I would attack music back in the day when I used to produce or art now or any of these things is kind of just like no preparation.
Yeah.
And just like blank slate. Let's throw some shit down. Let's see what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm self-taught with everything, so I think that's part of it. You know what I mean? Just trying to figure out what it is, how it ticks, and what you like and what you don't like, and what you've tried and didn't work, and it was just a season in your life, and you kind of just keep pushing for what the next thing is. And, yeah, falling back on being yourself. Yeah, I think.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Did you start your art career with producing beats and making music?
It's hard. I mean, I would say at a more like creative, like seriouser level, maybe, yeah. But since I was young, I've always just loved creative art stuff. So like I was drawing, not like good, but I was drawing at like 4. Like I can just
The Confederate flag.
You know
like,
what it was?
Yeah, like
Yeah, fuck yeah, fuck America. Yeah. No, but I can remember literally the moment that I feel like I got my first gratification from art. And I was in kindergarten, and my dad had taught me how to draw like a Ninja Turtle head. Simple, just like a Ninja Turtle head. And so like this whole, like next day I'm in kindergarten, and I take like this whole big, it's not big, it's 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. But I drew all Ninja Turtle heads on it. And I can remember the teacher and everyone flipping out like, oh, this is so good. And like, I think that was my first like, oh, you know, we're simple beings as humans. We go off punishment and reward. So I think that was like the first grain of, oh, people like your art, or people like what you do, and this is cool, and this is how you can get acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Ninja Turtle head is what got you here.
Dude, I mean, I wouldn't want anything else. Like, what is better than the Ninja Turtles?
Which Ninja Turtle was it?
Well, I would draw all different ones with the different, so I would draw them all.
Oh.
They were on one page, and I would alternate the colors.
Dang.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it was like all of them.
That's
multiple
cool.
times.
Which one's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
I relate to Raphael the most.
I think he's the most interesting.
Yeah, I relate to him. I feel like he's the one that needs therapy the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think you need therapy?
I'm in therapy. Well, I'm not in therapy right now, but I've been in therapy. And yes, I mean, we all probably need therapy.
Interesting. And so
maybe not. I don't fucking know. Shit.
I mean, I feel like, we all do need it, but different forms.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. I feel like some people...
Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm just talking about talk therapy.
Talk therapy. Okay.
Specifically in this context.
Yeah.
But music has been therapy. Everything creative is therapeutic. That's why I do it.
Well, what else about Raphael that you relate to the most?
I think he was just the badass, and he was like the outcast, and he was kind of the one that was like the rebel, went against the grain. But when he did go against the grain, he did it for good. He did it for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, he would always go off to get away from the crew, but that was because he was like just angry at life and the situation, and he was just kind of figure out, you know, whoever was kidnapped, or I think they had Master Splinter, and he was mad as shit, and like, you know, he was going through a lot of shit, bro. Like if you watch those old movies, they're traumatic. Yeah,
no, 100%. I think out of all the turtles, like he's definitely the one that needed the attention, like in terms of like the care, and because Michelangelo, he would just like mess up. Like he was funny, but like,
dude, Michelangelo was the short bus, dude.
Yeah,
he was on the short bus.
He was funny, but he would just mess up, right? And they'd just like fix whatever he would mess up. Donatello's super smart. Leonardo is just always like trying to make sure everyone's in line. And my personal favorite's Leonardo, because I always like the character that like no matter what's going on, they like focus on their path and focus on their mission. Like I always like the dude that like no matter what happens to him, he's just like, my mission is to be good and like help the ones around me.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
It is annoying. I agree. I agree.
It's kind of fucking annoying.
I 100% agree. But those are the characters that I
no. He's the leader. He keeps everyone. He's Captain America.
Yeah. And like for other characters, I look at the ones that like they've been through shit, and you'll see another character in that series, and that person that's been through the same shit or similar shit, they'll become like insane villains, right? But this character just somehow takes all that and becomes, you know, a hero. That's what I really
that's
admire.
valid. That's valid. Hey, I'll ask you a question that you won't answer, and we'll just skip over it.
Sure.
What race would you give each turtle? So next question. What else you got for me?
What race?
Don't even
Dude.
don't even
Oh
put
my
yourself.
g-
Save
yeah.
it for the Patreon or something. I don't want to
For
put
the
you in that
Patreon,
situation.
we are going to answer that.
You're gonna answer that.
Patreon.com/ShimmerWallet. You want an answer?
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll
Tune
see.
into the Patreon. We'll see.
We'll see. How's life right now?
I'm in a good place, man. I'm in a good place. I feel like I'm stable. I got a girl that I love. I got 2 dogs that I love. One of them's getting old. She's gonna die probably soon. But I think about death every day.
Dang.
In a healthy
good
way.
sense,
In a
yeah.
healthy way, yeah. So, I mean, we're all just, that's my pack, and that's all I really care about, as far as that being my center, and then my extended family, and then really just trying to have fun, man. Trying to laugh, trying to, try new things.
Speaking of trying to laugh,
Yeah.
what do you think about death?
Fuck, hilarious. Dude. Burr, burr, burr. Yeah, dude, hilarious. No, I think about death every day for the purpose of trying to get comfortable with it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also it gives me the ability to appreciate things more, I think. It's not like every day, like in my calendar, like calendar goes off, hey man, it's 15 minutes of death thinking time. It's just, it's constantly on my thought about just how fragile everything is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is kind of almost like has me living life in like a suspension of just trying to like funnel all the good energy I can while I'm here.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I think I'm like terrified of death. I think there was a point where I wasn't, and now I'm at a point because I feel like things are like really working for me. So
It's
I'm
a
like,
certain age too.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So you're probably getting to that age where you kind of, for me, I think it was like even years ago where you start kind of realizing you're not invincible.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I think when you're younger, you have a feeling you're
Yeah.
invincible, dude. I'll fucking smash through this wall right now, dude. Like headbutt this shit. You know what I mean? But like the older you are now, the older you get, you start realizing just your mortality.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that puts things in perspective. And then everyone around you, like your elders, are getting older, and so that plays a part. And I think all of that is what did it for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people does the same thing.
yeah. And I think also it's like you accomplish more, and then you have more people in your life, and you're like, wait, there's people depending on me. There's people that I depend on, and stuff like that.
It's interesting you say that, because literally lately, even the age I am now, I'm thinking about like my father at that age that I am now, and him being, say, in a new house where he got to somehow pay the mortgage, 3 kids, and all the situations he may have been dealing with. And especially, older Pakistani men, they don't have the same outlet necessarily that we have, like verbally, to be able to talk about different things. They kind of bottle everything up until it turns into heart disease and all the other type of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So essentially, I've been thinking about all the stress that was on him, and just getting a perspective of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I worked a job for like 2 weeks a couple months ago that I fucking hated. You know what I mean? And I was taking the metro down to the city.
Yeah.
And it was like a maybe hour ride for me. Doing design still, but was trying out a new job, and I left it pretty quick just because it didn't work out. But I feel like the benefit I got from that was getting to ride the train, because my dad rode the train for years doing the same thing. And I feel like it was a homage to him, and kind of getting to feel that feeling of like another form of respect that I could understand kind of what he dealt with and has dealt with.
Yeah. Was your dad an artist?
No, my dad, he's done a lot of different things, but he ended his career being a translator for the good old Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Oh, dang.
Worked at the J. Edgar Hoover building, boy. America.
Was he translating for Pakistani folks across seas?
No, he worked for the departments here.
Okay.
This is what I know. I don't know what I don't know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But he worked for the departments here, and he essentially sat in on, say, their interrogations or different things that would translate. Remember there was an attack at Mumbai
Yeah.
Hotel?
Yeah. They
So-
made a movie about that.
I haven't seen the movie yet, but they did make a movie.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I remember I was in high school, and it happened, and then that night, like, we get a call to the house at like 2, 3 a.m., and then my dad comes and wakes me up. He's like, hey, you got to take me to Reagan in the morning. Like his boss, like they were flying him out there to sit in on the interrogation. If you remember, there was one kid that survived. He was like a 16-year-old that survived out of the terrorists. He was the only one.
Yeah.
And he sat in on that investigation or on that interrogation and did whatever translating. But then he came back and brought pictures of India and everything. And it was just crazy to see. But it was trippy to, you know, for him to just fly out like that and take him to the airport. And like on the way, I'm not going to divulge too much of their information, but like on the way, we had to stop somewhere and meet somebody and get a purple passport. It was like, I was like, yo, dude, this is pretty crazy. But it was never like too badass because you didn't have a gun.
Yeah, yeah.
But I was like, dude, that's still pretty badass.
What are your thoughts on guns?
Dude, fucking love them, bro. Fucking America, dude.
America.
Dude, this Saturday, I'm going to pick one up. I'm not even fucking lying.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm debating between the P365, the SIG, and then between that and the Shield.
What's the Shield?
It's a Smith & Wesson 9mm.
Okay. Dang.
Compact carry.
I've shot guns twice, and I'm gonna be honest. I used to be very anti-gun.
Why? Dude, you look like a fucking anti-gun.
What does that mean?
Yo, we about to start. Shall we start
What does that
roasting you
mean?
now, or should we save it for Patreon, dude?
We'll start now.
Dude, I mean, you look like you're anti-gun.
Like a what? A hippie?
Yes.
Hippie. Okay.
You said it, not me.
Yeah, yeah.
We're both hippies, though.
I mean, yeah, I believe in like peace and all that stuff.
Right.
But I just, the older I get, the worse I see the world. Right. And it's like, okay.
You're starting to become jaded. Welcome to the dark side, brother. Welcome to the dark side.
And it's not to like, you know, use the gun for offense. It's obviously defense.
Right. Of course. What do you think I'm out here just fucking, dude?
Dude, so I've shot guns twice, right? And the second time, I just see people, and you can tell they're regulars. They're trying out their new guns, like with attachments and stuff like that. They're super loud, and I'm like, bro, they got the goggles and everything. Like, they got their own earmuffs with their signature. Like,
yo, don't talk about my man like that, bro. Like, yo, don't talk about my man like that. Some people just love guns, and we feel attacked right now. Like, what is wrong with that?
That's the wrong group I want to attack right now.
Yeah, you do not want to attack that group, bro. Dude, next year, January 6th, they're coming here, bro. Like,
no, it just, so when I was at the shooting range, I was just imagining like, yo, what would happen if I just played a prank at his house or something like that? Like, it'd be over. Like,
you have that itch. They have a word for that.
What is that?
Like jumping into the void or something like that.
Yes, I have that a lot, actually.
I used to, but I've toned it down because it's a strong urge, man.
Yeah.
When it becomes strong and dark and deep inside you, like a little plant that grows, and eventually you at the side of a fucking skyscraper, and you're like, what if I jumped?
Yeah. So that's what it's called, Enter the Void?
Or something about the void.
I think you're right, 'cause
Into
I heard
the
it before.
void, or
Into the Void.
Some shit about the void.
For those that are listening, it's basically like you have this thought that could change like the universe.
The everything about everything. Like, you'll be driving down a highway and you'll have a sudden urge, like, man, if I turn this car into the other side, guardrail right now, shit would be crazy.
Yeah, and it's so scary. Like, sometimes it's like you have people in the car and you're like, bro,
whoa, dude, I've never done. No, stop it right there. I've never endangered anyone.
Don't get in the car with me.
No, my void situation. Yeah, write that
Bilal's
down.
writing notes.
Because my void situation has never like threatened anyone else.
Yeah.
That is crazy. You are, wow. I'm learning something right now.
No, it's not.
No, I'm learning something about you. Like, you come off a certain way, but there's deep hallways and crevices and corners and attics that are inside you that you think about.
Yeah, I think it's deep, but I also think it's very surface level. Like, in a way, it's all jokes. Like, it's not like I would never. It's all like not serious. Okay. You know, like it's a thought that's there.
You're dude, you're crazy. You're joking with it. You're telling yourself jokes in your brain with a group full of people in the car. Like, this is hilarious. If I would just kill everybody right now. It'd be so funny.
Dude.
Everyone would laugh forever.
I think it's just watching too much like TV and playing video games.
That's what it really is.
I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it is. Because now that I don't do that as much, I don't have those urges as much.
Yeah.
And my girl, she watches nothing but like deep, dark, crazy shit.
That's why I don't watch those. You know, like how serial killer like TV shows and movies.
Women love it.
They love it.
They love it.
And I'm like, dude, that's. I feel like it's rotten our brains. Like, why would we want that in our head?
I mean, I'm sure there's some like deep, dark Freudian like psychology behind it all that I have nothing to know about or do about. But I will say that it's fucking crazy and it makes me uncomfortable. So I can't watch like things like Game of Thrones. Like everyone was in the Game of Thrones and all that shit. And like, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
For me, that's like fantasy, right? And when I see like biopics of serial killers, that's when I'm like, dude, why are we like watching this? Like, it's
Who's your favorite serial killer?
I don't have one.
Oh,
but like,
but you know, like a lot of them,
yeah,
or
like Ted Bundy, he's the main. Another one, Jeffrey Dahmer's a new one.
he's like the most like popular one right now because of that.
I
show.
heard recently that the I don't know how to describe it. The best serial killer or the serial killer that's the most successful, like, is actually a doctor
the most bodies.
who has the most bodies.
Whoa,
Is a doctor, and I forgot what he did exactly. I think he like changed. He put something in their hydration like packets, and
that's some
he's
deep, dark shit.
he's killed like hundreds of people.
Dude, that
and he's
dude's
admitted
in
to it.
fucking hell getting
And I was like, dude, how come
donkey punched by devil right
yeah,
now?
I was like, how come no one talks about him? Because like I'd never heard his name. I don't even know his name, but he's pretty famous.
damn. Well, you're talking about him now, but you gave him no glory because you don't know his name.
I don't know
So
his
nobody,
name.
look it up. The guy, the doctor.
The doctor, yeah. So apparently he's the most
Dude,
infamous.
You made me, now that we're in a conversation, you ever heard of Verapine?
Verapine, no.
He was like he was an Indian serial killer.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
and he was he lived like up in like the brush. It's not the brush. The brush is like in Africa or Australia. He lived like in the jungle or some shit with like all of his hooligans, and they were poachers. So they would kill mad elephants, and they were pretty much killing people too. So, but he would just kill cops. So it was cops that were coming to try to arrest him, and then he would kill them. So I think he has like some crazy amount of bodies too.
Yo, I feel like he probably has more.
He might, because I don't know. Can you just tell us, Bilal, how many bodies Verapine has?
Verapine.
I might even be sending Verapine.
Is he still alive?
Verapine, there you go.
Is he still alive?
Oh no, I think they got this fool. This was like in the 90s. They got that fool.
Verapine.
Verapine. I'm pretty sure there's a movie on him. Like I stumbled across this guy. Like
Okay.
I go. You were asking earlier, like, do I watch
184.
184
Not
bodies?
As many as Harold Shipman, a doctor. I don't know if it's the same doctor.
That's probably your man.
250.
Harold Shipman?
I think that's what his name is.
That's
Okay.
your man.
So Harold Shipman had 250 bodies.
And
And
then
Estimated, so they're not even sure.
Oh, so he had like 500. That means.
who, Harold Shipman?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because if
okay.
it's estimated,
Yeah.
he got like, it's like a girl when she says like how many people she slept with. You got to double it by 2,
Double
bro.
it. That's what you
3,
gotta do.
4. I don't even know the metrics anymore.
That's what you have to do with serial killers?
Yeah.
Just double the body count.
Yeah, because you think they got everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
really think like someone's on like, dude, they're fucking killing people like they're going to the gym. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's
Like
crazy.
throwing on the bag like they're heading out for the gym.
Do you think they have the Into the Void like constantly?
That's interesting. No, because I feel like they're not doing it to themselves. You know what I mean? They're just doing like weird shit. They're like, you know, a lot of mommy issues.
Yeah.
Like that, that type of stuff. Like, I mean, that's a lot of those psycho movies and
Yeah.
that type of stuff. It's usually like mom shit.
Mom, yeah. It's crazy. I feel like that could be a stand-up bit, the one body count thing that you talked about.
Ah, yeah. Write that down.
Write that down.
Well, that's where I feel like comedy comes from. Is just like literally real dumb shit that we talk about, and
Yeah.
then it happens. You know?
100%.
And I feel like the climate now for comedy is kind of coming back to where, you know, you can say, like, at least for me, like if I'm saying something that's like shocking half the room and the other half of the room is laughing, I think the climate's getting back to a place where it's kind of like, okay, these are jokes, people, you know. I love everybody.
Yeah. Did you
Except serial killers.
except
Yeah.
did you like the past few years when cancel culture, I guess, was a big thing, like did you feel that effect?
Nah.
No?
No, because I'm nobody.
Yeah.
How you gonna cancel me, dog?
No, it's not even about like canceling you. It's like about saying things that I guess in the climate of the world around some people.
Around some people, I mean, I say, dude, my girl is like pretty woke.
Oh,
And I
okay.
be saying crazy shit around her all the time.
Yeah,
That it's caused problems.
Which cause problems?
No, but yeah, we're good now. It was
We're
great because it's kind of like we were forced to kind of like work through all of our differences and talk it out and talk about things and learn about how to have healthy discourse.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes I just say like dumb or like stupid shit just to see their reaction, see how cool they are.
And
with
I
it.
apologize for doing that at your birthday. I believe.
For what? No, I appreciate
I
that.
said, oh, you appreciate me saying some wild shit there.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
No. I think saying the wildest shit just so you expand the rubber band, right?
Yeah, I'm with that. See, and my thing is always like, see, this is the problem with me. Like, I'm not like a shock person. Like, I don't say things or try to find a thing to shock people. I just have a dark sense of humor. So sometimes it comes from like a weird place, you know what I mean? And I'm a contrarian, and I often argue with people just for the sake of arguing with them,
I do
which
the same
people
thing.
hate that.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know,
Yeah.
probably the reason you're single right now. So, but it's, you know, it's a thing that it makes people uncomfortable. But I think for us, we're not doing it to antagonize. It's almost like working around a bit. It's almost like you're looking at all the angles. You're looking at what is this thing we're really talking about.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, I don't do it to everybody. I do it to people that like you can kind of tell they don't want to talk about that subject.
Interesting.
Yeah. So then
Could you do it to me right now?
you can.
It'd be hard.
I feel like it's hard.
It's hard.
really, because I would have been doing it. You know, I would have been like, yo, so what do you think about this? You know, or something like that. I feel like you can talk about most things. So,
Yeah. Patreon. Catch us on Patreon. That's what we say the real shit.
that's where we'll get
Yeah.
crazy.
What race are? I had a thing I was gonna say. Let's just. All right. Anyway, yeah, man. I think that's what I think that's what makes us is we get to kind of free think about things.
And it's like the guy's locker room, right? Like you say the wildest shit in the guy's locker room, like whatever. Like
That term is so crazy.
yeah, it's a weird term.
It's so fucking like that's when Trump said, "Oh, I'm grabbing her by the pussy." It's like, it's just locker room talk, guys. Don't look over here. Just locker room. We're in the locker room, grabbing pussy in the locker room. Like this shit made no sense, but it's just something that we said and made up to get past a situation of a man saying something that's totally insane.
Yeah.
But we should just accept that boys will be boys.
Yeah. I think the issue is like
That's another saying.
for
that
me
is-
at least, I bring the locker room talk out for everybody. Like I'll ask them the questions like, so what do
I
you think
love
about
that.
that? What do you think about this? And they'll be like, what the heck? That's so gross. Like, you know, so it's like, okay, interesting.
That's what happened at your birthday. I said like
Yeah.
a Me Too joke and like they got offended. And I wasn't even like that. Like I love it. Back to the thing. It's just jokes, man.
It's just jokes. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember. Speaking about my girl, dude, I'm saying everything here. I don't even care. So what's so funny is like we were in couples counseling, right?
Yeah.
And we're in the counseling stage. She's like, he keeps saying trans jokes. And I was like, first of all, I've never said a trans joke because I don't have any. I was telling you a trans joke that Chappelle said that you were asking about in reference to. Don't try to manipulate this.
Dang.
But anyway, like I'd be winning in therapy. Like I'm just throwing that out there. Like, that's why every couple, when they come out of therapy, they want to be on top.
Interesting. Do you think couples therapy helps?
Yeah, for sure. Helped us tremendously.
What
I
about
love my girl.
What about couples therapy and therapy? I guess helps.
What you mean? What about it? You're saying?
Yeah.
I
Because I've never
think-
done it. So
I think that the idea of talking to someone who is detached from your life and your situation and kind of getting to talk to that, just like an ear, you know what I mean? Like someone just to listen out what's on your mind. I know for a lot of people, there's things that they try to work out themselves. Like the instance when we were saying about older Pakistani gentlemen, right? They've never had the luxury of thinking therapy was okay, so they would have gone through a lot of traumatic things and not, or just even life stress. I feel like everyone got stress, you know what I mean, and not necessarily have a healthy outlet. And I feel like therapy offers that outlet to be able to just kind of talk to someone who's detached. And the cool thing about it is too, is like you find a good therapist, things start getting good. You're seeing them less, but you still just kind of want to talk to them and just kind of, you're almost like sifting through your own stuff. Like through talking to them, it's almost like you're kind of working out these own things from a different perspective that they can give you as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really dope. Because I feel like, at least for me, my best form of therapy is just like putting all my feelings into whatever I create.
I used to do that, right? And then I ran into the issue that happened to me is you kind of put all your value in your work when you do that. So if you ever, like with me, I've come into situations in my life where I was forced to not be able to be creative for spans of time. So that thing was taken away from me. And so say I can't be creative, I'll say, okay, I'll work out, right? I'll work out. And now I'm putting my energy and getting all that through exercise, which is good too. But if that's all you got, that's not enough, right? So eventually you kind of get just burnt out at life. You know what I mean? You just kind of feel like this isn't, I don't know. You just kind of feel stuck. So when we get in those points, you don't have any outlet anymore.
Yeah.
And so like, that's why I kind of I still love being creative, but I don't make it my identity. Like my stuff I create is not my brand is not who I am.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? And that kind of gives me some like peace to be like, whatever I do, I can just fall back on being myself. And if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. If they like it, they like it. And if they don't, fuck you.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or not. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm just here trying to exist. And like I said, time's a ticking. So I'm just kind of worried about being happy now. I think overall that's the thing. Like just want to be happy.
Wow.
So by just looking for that within yourself, like my man, Ryan Miller, I'll give him this credit. He is the founder of a company that educates veterans about cannabis out on the West Coast. And he told me this saying one time. He said, some doors can only be opened from the inside. And like that kind of stuck with me and kind of gave me the idea of to work on myself. So that looks like self-love. That looks like setting boundaries. That looks like kind of like finding yourself, figuring out what you really want in life. And that could be creative. And that could be all the things that we're talking about too, but just don't let it be you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you lost all of this tomorrow, would you lose your value of yourself? You know what I mean? That's kind of like the idea.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep doing that therapy too. Ain't nothing wrong with like getting therapy through all your creative outlets. Just diversify your bonds. You know what I mean? Just do different things and seek happiness and laughter and love at every angle or all around you. You know what I mean? That's that hippie shit, bro. You know? You on it. You been on it. Look at you. Dude, this guy, you look like a historically accurate Jesus.
Yo, I've been getting that a lot recently.
Duh.
Yeah.
Recently? Not your whole life?
No, because I didn't have long hair my whole life.
Oh.
I think the long hair really does it. Because he actually has curly hair.
Right.
He probably had our skin color.
And the beard. I mean,
the beard.
It's glorious.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, man. Sorry. But anyway.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
If you could give your life a meaning, like what would it be?
My life a meaning. What does that? What? Here you go with those. What does that mean? Did you pick these off of like a book? Like where did you get these questions?
You don't like it?
No, it's just very. To see the problem with me and those answers, they're so broad. It's like they're so loaded. It's a loaded question, bro.
It is a loaded question.
Yeah.
But
what do you mean?
I want you to create your meaning. Yeah.
So I gotta buy and sell it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So life meaning.
What's
my
your life meaning?
my life meaning is to, at this point, give out love, honor my parents, seek happiness, and make a force field the best I can around me for anything bad.
Was that so hard?
I mean, it sounded like a Hallmark card. Yeah, I guess we'll go with that.
See, that wasn't hard.
I
You
guess.
got it.
Yeah,
I didn't have to do anything.
clearly.
Oh my god. If you could give your life a movie genre, what would it be? And why?
Dark comedy, easy.
Dark comedy?
Dark comedy, easy. Bittersweet ending.
What would be the script? Like a little synopsis.
Okay, so I'm pitching you the movie right now.
Yeah.
So you're not. This is my life movie.
Yeah. Whose would it be? Or just would you want to make your own movie?
And it has to be like accurate.
It doesn't
Can
have
I
to be
twist
accurate.
it a little bit like
Obviously, I
Weird
don't-
Al's movie?
I don't
They
think
twisted it.
I don't
a
think
little
any movie's like completely
bit. Okay,
accurate.
well, let's say this. It will be a dark comedy, but it will follow the format of Forrest Gump for sure. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I'll probably start off in the present and then we'll go back in time as I explain the story. You know what I
Okay.
mean? But the difference will be the comedic relief. The only comedic relief in Forrest Gump was really just his voice, Jenny. You know what I mean? So there's not much there other than that. For me, I would definitely have a lot more going on. I would cast, who's the guy from Flagrant?
Andrew Schultz.
No, the
Akash Singh.
fucking brown guy. Yeah.
Oh.
For who? Oh, for you.
Yeah. Akash is gonna play my father.
No,
He can
get
play my
Andrew Schultz
father.
to play you, bro.
No, Andrew Schultz has to play my father because they have the same mustache.
Oh.
Same mustache.
Okay.
Like
The hella
two-
Pakistani thick mustache.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it, right? And so he would play my father, and we would come to America, and pretty much I would aspire to be an astronaut, and which is true. And it's still, in the cards, but we're seeing how it plays out. And along the way, there will be, a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of lost love that I thought was my love, just like every, the coming of age of a
Yeah.
man. And then you find out that, your soulmate's out there, and then you really find them. And then you go on to, have multiple bodies, you know what I mean? And then the shit just gets crazy. And right at the climax, you have to hit rock bottom, you know what I mean? Like drugs, like I end up somewhere like on heroin with like an ice cube up my butt or something, you know what I mean? Like that's where I from that point is where, cut scene and you come back to present and the person I'm telling the story is like, yo,
what the
you know what I mean? And then I'm like, it gets better. And then they cut back, right? And then from there, I pretty much, pick up myself from my bootstraps, as they say.
Yeah.
And I acquire my country accent, and that's what allowed me to get ahead in America.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
that.
then at the end,
Yeah.
it says the end, ... cutscene.
Dang.
And then ... to be continued.
Wow. So you don't have a
And
post-
then ... fine, because that's just like, you don't even get, like you make up the rest of your story.
Wow. That's dope. You want to have a post-credit scene?
Oh, I gotta have a post-credit scene.
I feel
I
like
want
no.
a post-credit scene and me older, and you can we'll gray you up, and you can play an older me. And how I vision myself is much how my father is old and dementia-ridden in a. I don't know why we're laughing at that. Don't worry, he'll forget about it. But I'll be old and just saying wild shit
Yeah.
in the dementia ward because that's where you can get away with everything. You could say,
I think
if
that's
you fake dementia, you can say the wildest shit you want to say,
Yeah.
and no one can say anything because what are they going to say? Like,
Yeah.
dude, these
Dude. Yeah.
marbles.
I feel like that's a
gone.
great post-credit scene because then it could mean that like you kind of lied about everything. You don't know if the story is true or not.
And then I end it like this: a tunnel to a alternate universe opens up. It needs to be Marvel because you're doing the cutscene. So now we need to
Yeah.
go straight like special effects Marvel, and it opens up, and through it comes me from a different dimension, and I go with him, and we essentially recreate the one, but it's the two.
Wow. Dude, that's an amazing movie.
Right off the hip.
Right off the
right
hip.
off the hip.
That was beautiful.
Right off the hip. Now, if I put more thought into it, I mean,
No,
it'd be
I think
better,
that
but
was great.
I literally just
Off the
shat
hip,
that out.
improvisation,
Yeah.
You mentioned that you wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
Want. Bilal and I actually last episode going into space.
Nice.
And we actually said, why would we want to do that when we have like a lot here? You seem like the type that you want to be in space.
I've had conversations with my girl about it.
That you'd go to space.
Like if there was a mission to Mars, like I think I'd have to take. Like if the opportunity presented itself, I'd have to take the opportunity. I
You
think
would-
we're
you
at
would
peace
take
with it. She understands.
Okay. So you would take it like you're the first person.
Oh, first.
Yeah.
Like,
first,
so
first.
I'm Matt Damon.
Yeah, you're Matt Damon. You
I
have.
don't know shit. Where am I going?
Okay, so you're with us.
Well, by myself, no, because
No,
I don't
not by
know
yourself. Not by yourself. You're with like 40 other people, but you're the first colony.
Is
to
there
go.
an engineer? Is Neil deGrasse Tyson there?
Yeah, you have like everybody
Can
there.
I pick my cast? Because
you're
or
probably
at least
starting
10
the cast.
people. If I can pick 10 people who I want there, then I feel decent.
No. So out of everybody you know, you're the only one going. But
I'm
like,
not even talking about people I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Elon Musk needs to be there. Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm talking about shakers and movers, people who are going to start a new college, like really.
Those
build
people
the
are going to try to
civilization.
do it from home.
Oh, see,
So
no,
you're
I'm not
sending
going.
like first.
No, I'm not going then.
Survivalists.
No,
You're
no.
sending like people that know how to like, you know.
Do you know what happens to the first of anything? Like even in war, you send out the. You're just like how I am on this new setup.
So
I'm
you
a
wouldn't.
guinea pig.
Yeah. So you wouldn't.
Huh?
You wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't be the first one.
So how many years would it take for you to like accept that?
Who
mission?
would be the first? Who's going to say yes?
I feel like a lot of people would. I would just say, like Bilal and I were just saying that like I feel like it'd be like people that love space.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
we'd be
Yeah.
like it gets boring after a certain moment.
It's a symptom of the into the void where you're just like, I'm just gonna fucking go. But what's gonna happen is 20 of those people are gonna fucking start crying the minute they're a fucking month away because it takes like 3 months to get to Mars or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be highly upset. But yeah, I mean, you gotta have some sacrifices to start anew.
Mm-hmm.
So, casualties of discovery.
Yeah.
Not I though.
What do you think is scarier, the space or the ocean?
Ooh, well, I've never been to space, but I've been at the ocean at night, and it's pretty scary.
It's scary.
And I've been out there swimming
I
pretty deep.
think we talked about this on your podcast.
Did
but
we?
I think so,
Okay.
if I remember. But
Yeah, I mean, I've almost been attacked by like giant sea turtles. I've seen sharks. I haven't been in the water, but I've been on the shore and seen sharks pretty close, too close for comfort. So ocean, I'm pretty scared of. I probably won't swim anywhere anymore unless it's like an enclosed like cove area.
yeah,
Yeah, sharks are fucking terrifying.
it's scary.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna end the episode there. We're gonna have juicier topics.
Shark Week.
Interesting topics on the Patreon. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. This was kind of all over the place, but you're testing out the new setup. Did you enjoy being on
I
the
hope
setup?
I hope it doesn't suck.
No,
I hope people listen.
I think it was dope.
I think we had a good conversation.
Yeah. I think I didn't want to ask the exact like kind of same conversations that we had on your podcast. I think,
Dude, I don't even remember what we talked about. I don't fucking remember at this point.
but
dude.
yeah, just different things, different
No, it
perspectives.
was great. I love talking to you. Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
one of the few people who like even without the mics, just the conversation is always great, man.
Yeah,
So,
no,
thank you.
I was
Appreciate
like, I even told Bilal, I was like, bro, I don't know how long this podcast is gonna go because this
we're
guy
gonna cut
talks
it,
a lot.
yeah.
This
it.
guy talks a
It
lot.
forces you to have me back at a later date.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
yeah.
if people like this one and we do decent numbers, you'll be like, hey, bring the guy back.
100%.
And I probably plan on starting my pod up again. I've taken a break just trying to figure out how I kind of want to do my format, and I think I have a new way coming. So maybe by the time this is out, I'll have that out. So just find me on Instagram, Grindstein,
Grindstein.
GRINDSTINE, and maybe I'll have something up, or maybe I fucking won't. Just follow me, dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
or not,
yeah,
dude.
check him out or not.
I'll be back regardless.
Yeah.
You'll see me again.
And he'll also be behind the scenes on some of my future projects. So
Hell yeah.
I love
Always.
having him as a creative mind. So thank you guys so much for listening. This is the Keep Shining podcast. Appreciate you guys. Check out the Patreon, patreon.com/ShimmerWally. And thank you guys. Peace. Keep shining.